It all started with a simple curiosity. I had never smoked before. A puff, not a drag, nothing. But in college, there is always that one person who somehow convinces everyone that trying something is just for fun. Just this once, or you'll totally get it. For me, it was my roommate, Alex, leaning against the balcony, railing with a smirk, holding a cigarette like it was some mysterious key to coolness. "You've gotta try it at least once," he said, exhaling a thin stream of smoke that drifted lazily into the night air. "It's different. That was my hook. I wanted different. Life was routine, boring, predictable, and the idea of doing something entirely outside my normal sphere felt exciting. Fine, I said, trying to act nonchalant, but inside, my heart was racing. We stepped out onto the balcony. The air was crisp and cold, the kind that makes your lungs want to take in everything at once. Alex handed me a cigarette. It felt oddly heavy, fragile, like holding a spark waiting to ignite. I stared at it, turned it over in my fingers, trying to figure out how this tiny thing could have such a reputation. "Okay, how do I even?" I asked, nervous. "Just light it. Inhale. Not too much at first," Alex instructed, already lighting his own. The flame caught the tip, and he took a slow drag, his cheeks hollowing slightly. He exhaled with an almost theatrical sigh. "See? Easy." I watched him, heart thumping. I put the cigarette to my lips, trying to mimic his technique. I inhaled, immediately regretted it. The smoke burned my throat, made my eyes water, and I coughed violently, dropping the cigarette back into the ashtray. Alex laughed, a mix of amusement and mild concern. "Yeah, that happens to everyone the first time. Don't worry." I tried again, determined. This time, a smaller drag. My lungs still protested, but I managed to hold it in for a few seconds. The smoke tasted strained Cigarrete, heavy, yet oddly calming in a twisted way. I exhaled shakily, watching it curl into the air. "You're doing fine," Alex said, patting my shoulder. "It's like a rhythm. You get used to it." For the next few minutes, I experimented. Small drags, careful exhales, trying not to look like a complete fool. But the more I inhaled, the more I felt this bizarre combination of tension and relief. My body buzzed slightly. My mind raced, and my chest felt tight, yet strangely calm. "You know," Alex said, "cigarettes are like life lessons. You think you're in control, and then suddenly, you're not." I laughed nervously. He was dramatic, of course, but there was a strange truth in what he said. One cigarette, a few drags, and already I felt a mix of thrill, discomfort, and weird satisfaction. It was unpredictable, okay? As the night went on, I found myself more comfortable with it. Not addicted, not by any means, but curious enough to take another drag, then another. I started to notice the little things, the way smoke swirled in the light of the street lamp, the sound it made as it escaped my lungs, the way my fingers tingled with a strange energy. Then came the challenge. Alex suggested we go for a walk outside, cigarettes in hand. "It's different when you're moving," he said. "You feel alive," I agreed, although I was still hesitant. As we walked down the empty streets, passing the silent dormitories, I realized how strange the act felt. Here I was, a non-smoker, holding a cigarette, inhaling smoke, pretending to be cool in front of someone who had done this 100 times before. Yet, it was thrilling. Awkward, yes, but thrilling. Somewhere along the walk, I tried to match Alex's pace, copying the casual flick of the wrist, the relaxed posture, the confident drag, and for a brief moment, it worked. I felt part of it, part of the world he lived in, even if it was just a tiny, smoky corner of it. But then, reality hit. My throat burned, my eyes watered, my lungs ached slightly. The thrill was fading, replaced by an undeniable awareness of what this cigarette actually did to my body. I coughed, loudly this time, and Alex chuckled. "Yep, that's the part no one tells you about," he said. "The aftertaste, the burn, the realization that you're slowly ruining your lungs." I laughed, but inwardly, I was questioning everything. Was it worth it? The brief rush, the shared laughter, the feeling of doing something new was intoxicating in a small way, but the consequences were real. Still, there was a strange beauty to the act. The pause it forced in my night, the shared secret with Alex, the ritual of fire, smoke, and conversation. By the end of the night, I had a few lessons. 1. Cigarettes are nothing like the movies make them seem. 2. They feel powerful, even when they're trivial. 3. The ritual, the shared experience, the small rebellion of it's strangely intoxicating beyond the nicotine. Alex and I returned to the dorm balcony, quiet now, both of us contemplating the night. The city was silent, lit by dim streetlights and neon signs in the distance. He flicked the ash from his cigarette, watching it spiral to the ground. "He'll probably never do this again, huh?" he said, smiling knowingly. I shook my head. Maybe not, but I get it now. I see why people do it, not for the smoke itself, but for the moment, the pause, the ritual. He nodded. Exactly. Cigarettes be like. Life condensed into 3 minutes of focus, reflection, and tiny rebellion. I laughed at that. It was absurd, but there was truth in it. We sat in silence for a while, finishing our cigarettes, neither of us talking much. The shared experience created a strange bond, a memory that neither of us would forget, even if I never touched another cigarette in my life. When I finally went back to my room, I felt different. Not addicted, not proud, but aware. A small adventure in the middle of a regular night had given me perspective. I realized that it wasn't about the cigarette itself, but about the act, the courage to try. The awkwardness of learning, the shared human moments that come from doing something outside your comfort zone. The next morning, I woke up with a slightly raspy throat and a lingering smell on my fingers. But I also woke up with a story. One I would retell with humor and exaggeration. My first night trying a cigarette, the awkward puffs, the burning throat, the laughter, and the small realization that life is full of tiny rituals that feel big when you in the moment. I couldn't help but smile at the absurdity. A simple cigarette, something I had previously thought of as just harmful. now held a story, a shared memory, a lesson in curiosity, caution, and the thrill of trying something new. If you've ever tried something completely out of your comfort zone, whether it's smoking, sneaking out, or just trying a new experience, drop a comment below. Share your story of first-time awkwardness, curiosity, or unexpected realization. Hit like if you've ever felt that mix of excitement and regret. And don't forget to subscribe for more tales of real-life adventures, awkward firsts, and small moments that teach us more than we expect. Because sometimes, it's not the act itself fits the story, the memory, and the moment that lingers.